All right. Good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here. And today we are going to be joined by Andrew from Solar Reps. Good morning, Andrew. How are you today? I think I muted you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Absolutely. Good morning, Andrew.
All right. Good morning.
All right. Excellent. So before we get into today's presentation, just want to welcome everybody. Beautiful fall day. Great day for a webinar. We're not going to be joined by corporate broker Bill Seitz today, but we will be joined by Cameron Alley at the end of Andrew's presentation. So Andrew, we are going to have you go ahead with your presentation a little earlier than expected. And then we'll have Cameron Alley from Clearview Mortgage bring us up to speed with what's going on in mortgage land a little bit later in the presentation. So Andrew is our representative from Solar Reps, and he's going to explain to us how we can make a little bit of extra dough by presenting a solar solution to our clients. Is that correct, Andrew?
Yes, sir. Thank you for that, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so now I get to talk about my favorite subject in the whole world with you guys, and that is how to generate additional revenue streams for you. Whether it be with clients you're working with now or clients you've had in the past or anybody in your sphere of influence, solar power is a great way to make a substantial extra income for yourself. My name's Andrew Leon. The company is called Solar Reps. That stands for Renewable Energy Partners. And those realtors who partner with us by referring solar deals will tell you it is perhaps the easiest side income they've made. And you can see why. I mean, if you go out there and look around, you will see solar being installed everywhere. If you ask your friends, anybody with a single family home, they'll tell you everyone's going solar now. So what magically happened, which is making this occur all of a sudden? I mean, traditionally for us in real estate, solar has been a pretty bogus deal up till now, correct?
For sure.
We've all had that experience. You've pulled up to a home, you see the panels on the roof, and you say to yourself, oh no, this house is going to have handcuffs on it. I'm going to be
Is there going to be a lien on this thing? Like what's
I'm going to be an escrow. There's going to be a loan balance. I've got to parlay this over to the next buyer.
Right.
Thankfully, all that's over now. What has happened, guys, is that public companies are vying to take over the US energy markets. And what they have determined is that it is these liens and loans that are prohibitive to the American homeowner from going solar. So therefore, they've come up with new ways of going solar. And this is where things get very exciting for you as realtors, because you guys are now in a terrific position to capitalize on what I'm calling the great solar paradigm shift, which is occurring. So for you ARG agents, we have come up with a program for you. It's called the Solar Savers Program, and it's designed to help you get your piece of the solar pie, and it's very effective.
And so, Andrew, would you like to share your screen with us?
Yes. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to play a 2-minute video which describes the landscape on solar. Let me know if you guys can see this.
That's perfect. We can see your screen.
Okay, here we go.
Today I'm going to show you how you can lower your electricity bill between 25 to 60% with no money out of your pocket. I know, it sounds like there's a catch. Watch the rest of this video and you will see that this is something that is really possible. First of all, I have to tell you, solar used to be a really bad deal. There always used to be a catch. Either lots of money up front or some kind of loan or lease which put a lien on your property. Bad choices. Today, that's all over. We have a new program called the PPA, the Power Purchase Agreement. Here's how it works. There's no money up front. The company invests and installs the perfect solar system on your roof. You then simply buy your power from us at a reduced rate, which is about 25 to 60% off your current bill. The best part is there's no loan and there's no lien. Basically, I need you to have three things in order for me to pull this off. One, you need to own your home and not rent. Number two, you need to have a FICO score of 650 or greater. Number three, you have to have a good roof. Do you think you have all three of these? We will analyze your electric bill for the consumption patterns and show you exactly how much you can save. Then, using satellite imagery, we'll design the perfect system for your roof. Remember, no loans, no liens, and no money down. Just monthly savings. Today, I'm going to show you how you can lower your...
Okay, so now you guys see this new way of going solar that realtors are utilizing to make an extra income for themselves. Now, at the beginning, I told you guys there are people making a substantial income for themselves. So the next question is, how much can you make referring your clients to go solar? Well, we'll put it this way. If you guys were to refer a mega mansion to go solar, you're going to get more than just a free Starbucks card, okay? What you're going to get is 50 cents a square foot, or 60 cents a square foot, or 70 cents a square foot, depending on the size of the home. We're going to send you guys out an email with the commission structure. If the house is under 3,500 square feet, you get 50 cents a square foot. If it's up to 5,000 square feet, that's 60 cents a square foot. Over that is 70 cents a square foot. So pick a home that you've dealt with lately and just do the math on that. If it was a 4,000 square foot house, you'd pick yourself up $2,400 on that deal. And this is strictly just for a referral. Now, we have agents who do this once in a blue moon. We have agents who also do this lockstep with every transaction they're involved with and pretty much with everyone they speak with. And then it becomes very substantial at that point. So Kevin, I'd like to do another screen share with a quick PowerPoint to describe how the program works.
Yeah, that'd be great, Andrew. Thank you.
Okay.
And so it also, I believe there's a minimum too, right? There's a minimum, I believe it's $1,200, right?
Yeah, there's a $1,500 minimum.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. Yep. So for any house, you're guaranteed to make that, even if it's a shack somewheres. Okay, is my screen showing here?
Yes.
Okay, so the company Solar Reps is Renewable Energy Partners. Guys, this is the only realtor-based solar program in existence. There are many protocols thrown into our process. It's all designed to keep your clients coming back to you guys as the go-to people in your industry for solar or anything having to do with the home. You've got a toolbox at ARG with all kinds of great stuff that you can monetize. Okay, the solar aspect is called the Solar Savers Program. Now, here are the goals of the program. First and foremost is you will easily be able to supplement your real estate commissions. The second is you're going to save your clients substantially on their electric bill, and everybody wants to do that these days. The third is to add value to your brand and your company, which we just spoke about. And I'd like to mention that there is a large contingency of people who are big fans of the environmental aspects of solar. It's a lot more than I previously thought. You know, we're in sales. I've always been more of a money guy. But there are many people who go solar and they post it on their Facebook accounts and they tell everyone they've done their part to help the environment. My point is, don't underestimate the drive of certain people that just love the environmental part of this. I've seen people go solar even when they don't save any money, just to say that they got it done and they've done it. Just something to keep in mind there. Let's talk about why realtors love the Solar Savers Program. Number one, it's an easy income stream. You're just simply referring the client and collecting a commission. Now, because the referral comes from a realtor, that's what makes it work. It converts into a sale a huge amount of the time. It's up at 70, 80% as our stats. There's no liability. So again, this is a referral program. We are going to be hooking up your customers with a large public company who's going to take good care of them. What you're doing, you're referring them to receive a free energy analysis, compliments of ARG, and that's to see if solar is a good fit. It turns out 70, 80% of the time, it turns out to be a good fit for them. Okay, the client experience. So guys, the client is really going to receive a custom solar system for no money out of their pocket. They're going to pay $0 up front. They're going to receive a valuable solar system. Now, these things are worth 50 grand, 100 grand, 150,000. This is going to raise the value of their home, and their energy bills are going to decrease. And again, what's driving the program is there's no encumbrances, no more handcuffs on the home. It's not going to prevent you from doing your refis. It's not going to prevent you from doing your purchases and moving these homes. Without that, the program wouldn't exist. And again, the brand enhancement, the people really appreciate that they get this solar analysis, even if it turns out that they're not a good candidate for going solar. You've cleared up the fog for them, and this will drive people to you for all their future needs. Now, the homeowners who are going solar are getting tremendous benefits nowadays. Let's go through that real quick. They're getting a free residential solar installation. And my number one objection is they say, Andrew, this is too good to be true. And I have to remind the folks, look, it's not too good to be true. Somebody's got to pay for this. We just established these systems are worth a lot of money. We're experts in getting public companies to pay for this. Number two is their lowered electric bill. Now, when we do an analysis, there's a sweet spot that we shoot for. What we do is we aim to get the people 20% more power for 30% less. If they fall in that category, and most people do, they're a good candidate to go solar. Number three is there's no liens on title. This is huge for us, and it's huge for the homeowners as well. They don't want that. Number four is really interesting. Some people do want to own the panels. And what happens is the path to ownership, it turns out, the best path to ownership is through the power purchase agreement. There's a buyout option at year 6. Understand that solar systems are just like a brand new car. You wouldn't want to go to a dealer's lot and throw down cash on a brand new car. When you drive it off the lot, it's going to depreciate. It's going to keep depreciating. The same is true of solar. So there's a sweet spot. If you want to buy it for market value at year 6, and they save a ton of money that way. Number 5 is energy analytics. You know, there's a lot of gearheads out there. They like to play around with the app that they get when they go solar. They can look and see how much power their system produced every day. It's kind of neat stuff. The maintenance is included. You know, on the power agreement, you're just buying the power produced by the system. So the folks are not responsible if anything goes wrong. There are sensors in the panels. If something happens, a sensor will go off, a truck will come and fix it. This is big. You know, I've seen people that paid cash for a solar system and the company went out of business, or the warranty company was no longer around, and they spent more fixing it than the money they were trying to save in the first place. That'll never happen here with the PPA. Number 7, it's fully transferable. When you guys move the house for these people eventually, it's just a one-page sign off to the next buyer. There is no loan balance that you have to contend with. It's strictly a one-page sign off on a soft credit check to the next person. They don't even have to qualify for it. And the last thing, which is a really great point, is solar has a fixed and predictable power rate. Now, for people who aren't solar, it's like just a guessing game, right? You open your electric bill, you have no idea what it's going to be this month. Oh, we had a heat wave. I can't wait to open this. It's probably going to be a really gnarly surprise. That never happens with solar. They know it's a levelized payment. They pay the same thing every month. So they can plan for the future. They know what they're paying every month and next year and the year after that. So this is especially great for all your clientele who is on a fixed income. Okay, next, why does the process work so well? It's because the mortgage process and the solar process are very similar. They're very familiar with you guys. If you've done a refi or a purchase loan, both that and a solar deal, they both take about 8 weeks in the pipeline. You guys have your procedures in real estate. I've listed some of the procedures we go through with solar. You know, the major thing when I was in real estate was I was looking for the recording date so I can get paid. So a lateral move with that in solar is the installation date. That's when you guys get paid. In the industry, we call that putting glass on the roof. So when the glass hits the roof, you get paid at that point. There's also going to be an ARG portal where you can monitor where your deals are at all times. Now, there's some great stuff you can inform your clients about. For example, many of you guys have clients who are landlords. They might have 5 or 6 properties. And what they do is these guys use getting solar as a profit center for themselves. What they do is they go solar, they buy their power for X, and they sell it to their renter for Y, and they pocket that delta in the middle. So if they've got a tenant in there, they might continue to charge them the going high rates on the grid, and they go solar and they get the power for a lower rate. So it turns out to be a profit center for them, and we can do up to 10 PPAs per homeowner. So this is something you want to mention to your clients who are landlords. Okay, so the 4-sentence script. Now, the goal of this program is not to make you guys solar experts. We want to keep you focused on what you're doing in real estate. The goal of the program is just to make you very effective at referring people to go solar and picking up a great income for yourself. So all you're responsible to do is just come up with your incarnation of this 4-sentence script, just something like this. Oh, by the way, do you want to lower the energy cost on this house? I'm asking because you qualified for the Solar Savers program. It's a free solar system install. This is a new referral program. We have an ARG for a free energy analysis. What day and time would you like a rep to contact you? That's it. If you've done just that, that constitutes a warm handoff and the referral, and you're in for the commission at that point. Okay, so again, let's just recap here and go through the process. All you've got to do is say the sentences and send us their info. We're going to send an email with our contact info. What's going to happen next is we're going to call your client. We're going to ask for their electric bill. We're going to analyze it, figure out how much they would save with solar. We're going to do the soft credit check. Upon approval, they'll DocuSign some documents. There'll be a home inspection. Then it'll go to permitting with their local municipality or city. Then we go to installation, and that's where you guys get paid. About 30 to 40 days later, depending on how slow the cities are, your client receives what's called PTO in the industry. That means permission to operate. Now, we don't make you guys wait for that. You guys are getting paid as soon as the glass hits the roof.
Not bad. And we do have a couple of questions in the chat, if we could go over those.
Okay.
First one is, what about tax incentive? It is up to 30% now. Is that what you're taking, and that's why they have to wait 5 years to purchase solar? Question.
No, that is a good question. There's a lot of confusion out there about solar. And that's another reason the system is so effective, because you guys will be the ones who can kind of cut through the fog and steer them in the right direction. The tax incentive only applies when they do a purchase of the system, or they get a loan to purchase the system. So is the tax credit a good deal? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. If you want to pay a higher price for something just to get a tax credit, it might be a good thing for you. But that's not really what's driving this. The power purchase agreement is you're just simply getting cheaper power, right out of the shoe. There's no loan and no lien. If you do get a loan, you're going to be encumbered with that, so you can pick up a tax credit for that. But that's a whole different way of getting it. What is noteworthy is that the climate, I've been waiting for a while to see if they were going to extend that credit, because ultimately that helps drive the program with these public companies, and they've extended it to 2030. So you guys will have a window to do very well for yourselves here.
That's great. Couple more questions here. First of all, benefits of a PPA versus leasing the solar system.
So a PPA is it's more easily transferable. They're kind of similar. PPA is a power purchase agreement. You're just simply buying power. So it doesn't really matter, if you think about it, where the power even comes from. You're buying a certain amount of power that corresponds to how the system was sized. A lease and a loan are kind of in the same vein. There are different counties and cities where maybe they don't, the local utility company doesn't allow a PPA, and we do some kind of a lease that functions as a PPA. But There's some subtle differences there, but the PPA is you can get in and out of it whenever you want. You just sign it over to the next buyer. And I think that's super important for realtors.
For sure. All right, perfect. Well, Ken, I hope that answers your question. And then let's see. Also, new buyers have to have a 650 FICO score to transfer.
No, they do the soft credit check, but they are not qualifying them for credit. So I'm going to tell you guys something in the industry here. A PPA is just a public company such as Sunrun making the decision that they're going to invest and put the solar system on the roof. What they're really checking for is someone has done a risk analysis and they've just kind of settled on the fact that, look, if they're a homeowner and they've got a decent credit score, let's say a 650, the chances of them stripping our panels off the roof and selling them on eBay are pretty low. That's really the purpose of the credit check.
Got it. And then can a system be leased using this solar company?
Yeah, we have access to every kind of program that somebody could want. You know, in the event that somebody's roof doesn't pass inspection, let's say they were due for a roof and the roof's in terrible condition. Somebody in that case might be a good candidate to get some kind of wraparound product where there is a roof and solar. You know, so when we talk to the client, we get their electric bill. You know, the first thing we do when we talk to them is ask them, hey, what's going on over there? And I'll tell you guys, we're the only ones who care. I mean, you have the confidence of knowing this is a terrific service. We are concerned with the best interest of your client. It's a realty-based program. It's not designed to automatically want to push a solar system on them. So we're going to figure out what their needs are. Are they getting electric cars? Are they going to be in the house long-term, or are they going to have someone from ARG sell it again? You know, then we'll look at what the best options are for the client.
Okay, perfect. And then Bon asks, any special discount if I want to do it for my house? Well, there's no out-of-pocket costs, right?
Yeah, listen, I've got a few more minutes here. I'll go through that, and then I can address what the techniques are that some of the agents use. But the answer is absolutely. Guys become very effective at solar advocates. I've noticed that. Realtors say, you know what, I need this for myself. They wind up getting it. They pocket the commission on their own home. Then they become a very effective advocate because it's on their roof. They can testify as to what the great experience was, and they clean house. Yes.
Not bad. And then let's see, another two quick ones. Does it have to be a new buyer or can it be a past client? Oh, absolutely past clients, Tom. No problem.
Oh, yeah. So this system, guys, I can't stress this enough. This is a great opportunity for you agents to get back in front of your old clients. You now have a reason to contact them and everybody that you know. And guys lead into it all different kind of ways. Like if you're doing a refi or something for somebody, you've already checked their credit. You already know it's over a 650. You could say, hey, you're approved for this program. Would you like to have a rep give you a call? But everyone's a candidate. Every roof you see is a candidate for this. If you're at the barber shop, at the gym, old clients, new clients, I mean, people are doing volume with this.
So we should drop flyers from a plane above the city.
I mean, you can get as creative as you like. I've had guys put people underneath them and go out and talk to people, and they're at the top of a hierarchy. So yeah, it's all fair game.
That's fantastic. And then Richard asks, can we refer contractors?
Sure. And I should say too, contractors will refer people to you. You know, some of you guys have relationships, I'm telling you, that you've never thought of. Now that you know about the solar aspect here, that, you know, I knew a guy recently who knew the president of his homeowners association, and he got him to send out a little letter to everyone in the association that said, hey, this community is going green, contact so-and-so. And he got about 17 deals out of that. So just put your genius minds to work and you'll think of all kinds of things.
Yeah, Andrew, we're always talking about that on these Wednesday webinars, is reasons to contact past clients reasons to contact people within your sphere of influence. And like you're saying, even reasons to contact people within your business network where you're already, you know, a lot of these agents are already referring painters and contractors and, you know, all these different ancillary services. So why not talk to those ancillary service people and providers about this program as well? It's just a great reason to get out there and talk to everybody.
It's a terrific reason to talk to anybody about it.
Okay, fantastic. And we do have a couple more questions. And what I really want you guys to do is feel free to contact Andrew directly once we're done with our presentation. We'll make sure that we have all of Andrew's contact information that goes out with the replay, and we'll display that at the end of the presentation as well.
Yeah, I want to mention, guys, when you're talking to people, understand this. There's never been a product that you can get with a soft credit check that has the value of a solar system. You know, we had somebody who was out in the Palm Springs area, and it was a 6,800 square foot home with a flat roof. And he wound up getting a system that would have cost him $320,000. And the guy literally paid zero out of his pocket. His bill went from $3,200 a month, I think, to $1,400.
Wow.
Yeah, so you now have something very valuable in your toolbox that you can really do well for yourself.
Yeah. Well, great. Is there anything else our agents need to know about the program or the product at this point?
I'd say, you know, moving forward, guys, I would just recommend you sit down and make a list of people you know who'd be good candidates. Everyone knows someone who's going solar. You know, it could be, you know, you guys all have low-hanging fruit, and send them over. You'll get your pipeline rolling really quickly. I want to give some recognition to Charles Barnes over at ARG. He got his first two deals in, and he has several percolating here. And he has a very effective technique I'm going to share with you guys. What he does is he recites the 4-sentence script, and then he immediately ropes me into a 3-way text with the client. I'm going to read you a text he sent me lately. He sent a text to me and the client. Hello, Mr. Smith. I'd like to introduce you to Andrew Leon. Andrew, please share solar rebates, discounts, and programs with my neighbor, Mr. Smith. More importantly, show him how you can help him save money now with zero out of pocket. Thank you. And then I just jumped on the text chain. Hello, Mr. Smith. What's a convenient time for me to give you a call? And that was it. Charles was done at that point. The 3-way text seems to hold everyone accountable and just keep things moving forward. And it's very effective. You know, someone asked earlier, I've seen agents start off by getting it on their own home. They pocket the commission straight away, and then they become an effective advocate there. A lot of people just go to our website. We'll send you that at solarreps.energy. It's got the video that we watched earlier. And then they wrote me into the 3-way text from there. That works very well. And I would just say to remember, we are your partners on this. We're here to do all the heavy lifting for you, you know, and we're committed to driving this extra income your way and making you successful. So utilize us, call me anytime.
Perfect. And if you could just throw your contact information up real quick on the screen, if at all possible.
Let's see here.
All right. And Charles Barnes just joined us. Good morning, Charles. We were just singing your praises.
Yeah, Kevin, I'd like to email everybody with the contact info if that's possible.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we always put out a replay of our webinars. So we'll make sure that that contact information is there, as well as the parameters of the program.
Terrific.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for coming on. We're excited about the program, and we will be referring our clients to you.
We're looking forward to working with everybody.
All right. Thanks so much. So now we are going to bring Cameron Alley from Clearview Mortgage on the line. Cameron, how are you, buddy? You're out of traffic and you're back with us, right? Cameron.
There we go. I was muted.
Right. Oh, and I thought I made you a panelists. Did I not do that?
Not yet, but we can take care of that real quick.
Oops. Hold on.
Yeah, first time I went to the doctor in like 12 years today. So I didn't realize that there was 45 minutes of sitting in the office before they got to you.
I told you they have to use that waiting room, you know.
Yep,
They have it, they're gonna use it, and yeah.
All right. Well, I don't see the panelist thing. I mean, I don't necessarily need to share my screen. If it's going to take a minute, just let me know.
Let's see. You should be able to share your screen in 2 shakes. Here, 1 sec.
That was a really interesting presentation.
Yeah.
I might have to get some people to put some solar on their house, huh?
Why wouldn't you? All right. I can't find you, buddy.
Hmm.
No, you're right here.
Come on.
Oh, there you are. All right.
There we go.
You are now a panelist.
All right, we are good to go, guys. All right, perfect. So sorry about the delay. Like Kevin said, I was running late at the doctor's office. So, but we have some pretty interesting housing data to go over today. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the data, and then I'm going to relate it to how it's changed, kind of the projections of where interest rates are going to go in the near future. So 2 of the main indexes released their data actually this morning at about 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the housing prices obviously have cooled, but what we're seeing now is that they're cooling at a record pace. Prices in September were 11% higher nationally compared to September 2021. So obviously we're still up 11% since last year. And that's according to the CoreLogic Case-Shiller Home Price Index, which is the main price index that they've used since '87 to kind of see where housing prices are at. But that 11% is down from 15.6% annual gain in the previous month. So in August, housing prices were up 15.6% from the previous year, and in September only up an 11%. So that's a difference of 4.6% in those monthly comparisons, which is the largest in the history of the index. And the history index, like I said, has been around since 1987. So basically what that's telling us is that the housing prices are decelerating at the fastest rate recorded since at least 1987. And I can tell you before 1987, there wasn't a huge fluctuation in housing prices. So this is definitely the fastest in the history of the market in the United States. Now, as far as this relates to us, the West Coast, which obviously includes like some of the most expensive housing markets, saw the largest monthly declines, with San Francisco at like around 6.3%. Seattle, which is not in California, but still West Coast, 5.9%, and San Diego down 3.8%. And that difference is only in the difference of a month. So basically what you're seeing is right now in real time is where we're starting to see the real price reductions. And this data is really, I'm going to go over in a second some estimates as far as rates from bankers, but this data is going to start really affecting bonds pretty shortly here. But as we all know, with monthly mortgage payments 75% higher than last year on average, national buyers have lost anywhere from $100,000 like average in the whole country, but in California it's more like $190,000 to $230,000 in buying power. So that's a big number, and those numbers obviously bankers are seeing that, and they don't want the housing market to slow down. So what they're going to do is basically take what they can affect, which is not necessarily what the Fed does, and they're going to make sure that they're doing everything that they can to lower rates so that we can keep the transactions going. So now as this data continues to come out, estimation for rate drops keep inching closer and closer. Most bankers now are estimating for rates to come down to about 5.4% as early as spring 2023, which 5.4% for us, 12 months ago, we were like, man, those are high rates, but now we'll take a 5.4 any day. So, but these same bankers estimated that more like 2024 just several months ago. So as I've been kind of saying every week, that with the slowdown that we're seeing, they didn't really expect it to be that much slower. So they're gonna react to that. So my main point of that is just hold on and keep making connections with new clients, because before you know it, they could be in a position to buy. Obviously it's a good way to keep in contact with them, stay in front of them, and always try to update them on whatever you can mortgage wise, like being on the webinar every Wednesday. Obviously you guys get a lot of mortgage stuff, so keep in contact with them, stay in front of them, and have useful content to be able to constantly let them know what's going on in the market, and also what bring some value to them. But as far as the 10-year today, we can all see we're still sitting at that 4% range, exactly like I've been saying. We're just sitting here plateauing, which is good because bonds have not went up a lot. They've not necessarily came down a lot, but today we are down 10 basis points. And then I did want to show you guys early what I talked about earlier. Right now, rates are at about like 7.2% on average, right? So if we take that example on a $600,000 loan amount, and let's say in the spring, rates are back down to 5.4%, that same term on a 30-year mortgage, that whoever your client is, if they just do a refi, they're going to be saving $700 a month already. So, one of the things is that obviously mortgage rates have peaked to the highest that they have in a very long time, but the faster that they peak, the faster that they'll probably come down, right? So, but basically what I wanted to show you is just there's a huge potential for savings there in the near future. So, just make sure, obviously if you were to connect someone at Clearview with one of your clients, we'd make sure to talk to them about this so that they know, hey, we're going to reach out when rates do go down, and we'll do a refinance, and we'll get you into a better position as far as your payment. And then I did also want to talk about some solutions to help right now, like because obviously it's hard for some people to qualify. A lot of people may not know that co-borrowers can be taken off on a refinance. So let's say you have first-time home buyers, right, and their parents want to co-sign. Well, if all the estimations are right, and within a year we're down to 5.4%, and you want to take them, refinance them and take the parents off, well, the likelihood of them qualifying on their own now is way higher, right? And then you could take the parents off. So that's just something for you to know. You don't necessarily have to change title or anything, but you can refi people off of loans. So, and then obviously the buy downs, seller concessions. Now, this is something that sometimes buyers don't really think about, is that your money is much more well spent on points buying down the rate than it is as far as putting more money down, because it really drops the payment a lot more than, let's say you're going to put another 20 grand down on the house, right? Well, that might drop the payment maybe, let's say $80 a month. Whereas if you spent that 20 grand buying down the rate, now you're looking at a few $100s difference. So that's something to look at too, and make sure that that if your buyers are saying, hey, I'll put more money down, we might not want to put more down. We might just want to get the rate down, or have the seller help us out with some concessions to get the rate down to help them qualify or get their payment at a more comfortable amount for them. And then also too, one thing that some people don't really think about sometimes is, rather than putting more money down, like let's say you have a buyer that's going to put 10% down, right? And instead you put 5% down, you take that other 5% and maybe you pay off a car, right? Or you pay off a small loan that they got from their bank for something, or maybe a boat payment. And that money can help them qualify a lot easier, paying off a little bit of debt rather than just putting it into the house. So there are solutions to help people qualify right now. But the whole broad scope of what I'm talking about is that a lot of people are really starting to think that rates are going to come down sooner than expected. So that's pretty much what I wanted to summarize today. And as always, if you have any questions, or you have any scenarios that you need looked at, or just some advice, feel free to reach out anytime. I'm always here. So
Awesome, Cameron. As always, really good information and really good stuff to arm our agents with, so they can go out and communicate this stuff to their clients. And then of course, pique their interest. If they have questions, you can always refer those people to Cameron, and that way Everybody gets the information, and you guys turn out to be rock stars because you're providing such a great service to your clients. So everybody wins, right, Cameron?
Absolutely. And I did pull up a pricing for you guys too, to tell you where pricing's at. I forgot to show it, but basically right now, best execution, the average rate is about 6.9. So I think the average rate industry wide is about 7.25 right now. So 6.9 is kind of where we're at. But as always, there are ways to get it lower, but I just kind of wanted to give you a snapshot of where rates are at right now.
I appreciate that. All right, great. Well, awesome webinar today. Super, super excited about this solar program. So we will get all of the parameters and all of the specs as well as marketing materials out to everybody. And I will also help you guys with, any one-on-one help you need to approach your sphere of influence, to approach past clients. So really, really cool opportunity to make a little bit of extra money going into the holiday season and, launching this kind of for next year as well. So agents, thanks so much for joining us. Get out there, make it a great week and a productive week, and we'll see you all on the webinar next week. Bye-bye.